Welcome to Unspoken Affairs. In today's video, I'll take you on an unforgettable journey that began with the simplest of neighborly gestures, but unfolded into something far deeper than I ever imagined. This is a story about unexpected connections, about kindness sparking intimacy, and about how sometimes love finds us when we're least prepared. Settle in, because this isn't just a quick tale, it's an experience. A lesson and perhaps a reflection of something you felt in your own life. My name is Alex. I'm 25 years old. Living alone in a modest apartment in Seattle. My life isn't glamorous, but it's steady. I work as an electrician, and most days follow the same routine. Wake up, grab coffee, head out to work, come back home, and maybe unwind with a book or some music. Peaceful, predictable, nothing extraordinary. But life has a strange way of shaking us when we least expect it, nudging us onto paths that change us forever. For me, that twist of fate arrived one quiet Saturday morning not too long ago. The day began like countless others. I brewed myself a strong cup of coffee, the comforting aroma filling my small kitchen. I settled into my chair by the window, watching the morning light spill across the city. But then I heard its voices from the apartment next door. The walls in my building are thin. I'd often overhear the muffled rhythms of daily life TV shows, music, laughter. But this was different. The voice I heard was a woman's, sharp with worry and frustration. At first, I tried to ignore it. It wasn't my business, after all. But her tone carried an edge of desperation that was hard to tune out. She was on the phone explaining to someone that her shower was completely broken. No hot water. Barely any pressure. She was calling one plumber after another, but it was a weekend and no one was available. Each call ended in disappointment. And I could feel the hopelessness in her voice deepen. I sat there, sipping my coffee, debating with myself. I'm an electrician by trade, but I studied engineering and have always been good with general repairs. Plumbing wasn't my profession, but I knew I could at least take a look. After all, what kind of neighbor would I be if I just sat there while she struggled? So, with my decision made, I set down my mug, grabbed a bit of courage, and walked to her door. I knocked gently. From inside, I heard a quick response. Just a minute. A few moments later, the door opened, and what I saw left me momentarily speechless. Standing before me was a woman, maybe mid to late 30s, with long brown hair that shimmered in the morning light. She wore a burgundy bathrobe, loosely tied, and her damp hair suggested she'd tried, unsuccessfully, to shower. Her face carried both frustration and a natural elegance. And her eyes were striking, as though they held entire stories waiting to be told. I cleared my throat, feeling oddly nervous. "Hi, I'm Alex. I live next door. I couldn't help overhearing your phone calls about the shower. I'm an electrician, but I know my way around plumbing. If you'd like, I could take a look for you." For a moment, she just stared at me, clearly surprised. Then her expression softened and her eyes glistened slightly. "Really? That's so kind of you. I'm Isabella. I've been trying all morning to find someone, but no luck. If you don't mind, I'd be so grateful if you could help." "Of course," I said, offering a reassuring smile. "Let's see what's going on." She stepped aside and let me in. The contrast between our apartments was immediate. Where mine was functional and plain, hers radiated elegance. Modern furniture, soft lighting, tasteful artwork, it all felt refined, like every detail had been chosen with care. As we walked toward the bathroom, I noticed the faint scent of jasmine lingering in the air. Calming and inviting. The bathroom itself was immaculate. A spacious shower cabin, gleaming marble floors, and fixtures that looked expensive. Yet, when I turned the faucet, the water barely trickled out. I crouched down and began to investigate. "When did this start?" I asked. "Last night," she replied. "First, the hot water disappeared, and then the pressure dropped. This morning, almost nothing came out. I removed the faucet filter and quickly found the culprit lime buildup had clogged it entirely. It wasn't a complicated fix, just tedious." I smiled reassuringly. "Good news, it's nothing major. Just buildup in the filter. I'll need some tools from my place, but I can get this sorted in about half an hour." Isabella's face lit up with relief. "Really? Oh, thank you. I don't know how to repay you. No need, I said casually. We're neighbors. It's what we do. I headed back to grab my tools. When I returned, Isabella was waiting at the door, this time with a cardigan draped over her robe. She still looked effortlessly elegant. I set to work, carefully dismantling the faucets, soaking the filter in vinegar, and scrubbing away the stubborn residue. Isabella lingered nearby, watching curiously. You said you're an electrician, she asked. How do you know plumbing so well? I chuckled. I studied engineering, then got certified as an electrician. But my dad taught me repair work when I was young. We fixed everything ourselves at home. She nodded thoughtfully. You're lucky. I'm completely useless with things like this. My ex-husband used to take care of it all. Her tone softened with a trace of sadness, and I understood without her saying more. She was divorced. I didn't pry. As I was finishing up, Isabella appeared with a glass of cold lemonade. You must be thirsty, she said kindly. My hands were dirty, so I hesitated, but she smiled and lifted the glass toward my lips. For a moment, our eyes locked, and a spark of unspoken connection passed between us. My heartbeat quickened as I sipped. Thanks, I said, almost too quickly, trying to steady myself. I turned on the faucet again. This time, water gushed out with perfect pressure, hot and strong. Isabella gasped with joy. Oh my God, it works. Thank you so much, Alex. You're a lifesaver. She threw her arms around me, hugging tightly. Her warmth, her scent caught me off guard, but I didn't pull away. When we finally let go, we both smiled awkwardly, as if acknowledging something had shifted between us. How can I thank you properly? She asked earnestly. Really, it's nothing, I insisted. But she looked straight into my eyes, her voice softer now. Alex, are you an angel? I laughed nervously. An angel? Hardly. Just a guy with some tools. No, she said firmly. I've been through such difficult times lately. My divorce shook me and my trust in people shattered. But then you showed up today just when I needed help the most. That means something. Her sincerity touched me deeply. I'm glad I could help, I said quietly. A silence lingered, warm and charged. Then, with a hesitant smile, Isabella said, this might sound crazy, but would you like to have dinner with me? As a thank you. I'll cook. My chest tightened with excitement. I'd love that. Wonderful. 7 o'clock. Perfect. That evening I stood at her door again, this time holding a bottle of wine. When she opened it, my breath caught. Isabella looked stunning in an elegant dress, her hair styled, her makeup subtle but radiant. Wow, I said honestly. You look beautiful. She blushed lightly. Thank you. You look very handsome too. Inside, the apartment glowed with candlelight. The table was set and the aroma of Italian food filled the air. I made risotto, she said with a playful grin. I hope you like it. We ate, we drank, and we talked for hours. Isabella was brilliant, cultured, full of stories about art, travel, and her dreams. She told me about her work as an interior designer, how her ex-husband had belittled it as just a hobby, and how she had finally built her own firm after the divorce. I admired her resilience. As the night deepened, our connection grew undeniable. Our eyes lingered too long, our hands brushed across the table, our laughter came easily. At one point, she grew quiet and said, Alex, today you didn't just fix my shower, you fixed a piece of my heart. I've been closed off for so long, but you feel different. We moved to the couch, sitting side by side, the distance between us shrinking. She touched my face gently. You're so young. I'm older. Does that matter to you? Age is just a number, I whispered. What matters is what we feel right now. Our lips met softly, tenderly, growing more passionate as the moment deepened. It wasn't just a kiss. It was the breaking of barriers, the start of something new. That night marked the beginning of a bond that grew with every passing day. We didn't rush. We shared mornings with coffee on the balcony, evenings with laughter, conversations that stretched late into the night. Isabella showed me new perspectives on art and design. I brought her joy with my steady presence. Together, we healed. A month later, her divorce was finalized. She looked at me with shining eyes and said, now I'm free. And I want you to know I love you, Alex. I love you too, Isabella, I replied, my heart overflowing. 6 months have passed since that day. Our relationship has blossomed beautifully. Isabella is thriving in her work, signing incredible projects. I've started my own electrical company, and her encouragement keeps me moving forward. We support each other, push each other, believe in each other. Sometimes, when I think back, it amazes me how it all began with a broken shower. A simple offer to help and a spark of kindness. Isabella still calls me her angel. I call her my princess. Maybe one day this will lead to marriage. But for now, the mornings we share over coffee, the dinners we cook together, and the way her eyes light up when she smiles, that's more than enough. Because real love doesn't always begin with fireworks. Sometimes it starts with something ordinary: a neighbor's cry for help, a gentle knock at the door. And before you know it, that small act of kindness becomes the most extraordinary chapter of your life.